Hi everybody, it's Carolina from the Bluffs Public Library, and today I thought we would talk about making some applesauce from scratch. So I have a lot of apples that are getting a little old, honestly, and oh yeah, let's definitely use this guy up. So what we're going to do first, I have my favorite applesauce pot. It's a majestic cookware. Pretty cool. So I have that ready. And I'll get my knife. I'm making a little video.
About apple pie?
No, about applesauce. So I moved my pot next to me so it's easy to put the apples in. And now what we'll do, it's so easy. You take your apple and cut off any bad spots. And then we'll cut that out. I did pre-wash these apples, by the way. So this one's a little better. This apple is not half rotten like the first one I pulled out. So again, here, I'll just quarter the apples. Okay, so now we've cut up all our apples. And next we will go ahead and cover it with water. So we'll pour in the water and we just want to cover the apples. They do kind of float a little bit. So just make sure there's enough water to cover because they're going to cook for a little while and you don't want them to get dry. So we've covered our apple. Next we'll get our spices. So this is my cinnamon. Oh, no, it's not. It's empty. I have more. Okay. This is my cinnamon. And I put a pretty healthy amount of cinnamon in there. Now, if you're wondering what a healthy amount of cinnamon is, there. It's a good bit. I also like to put just a smidge of nutmeg. Now I use whole nutmeg, which I have this nifty little porcelain grater for. But you can also just use a little pinch of dried nutmeg. And this is really just a little bit. You can kind of see it on top there, the little whiter pieces. So then that's it. We'll go ahead and put it on the stove. And we'll set it to high to get a boil going, and then we'll turn it down low, just to let it kind of slowly simmer. So you can see here we have a very nice rolling boil going, and the apples are starting to cook a bit. This rate for about an hour. I have stirred it just a few times, maybe 3 or 4 times, every 10 or 20 minutes or so. And if you push on your apples, you'll see they're getting soft, but they're not totally mushing out yet, which is what you're going to want. Now this is not the time to go and take a nap. I speak from experience. You're going to want to stay somewhat close to the stove, because once the water starts to boil away, it goes pretty quickly and you don't want your applesauce to burn. Okay, so we've really just about hit the 1 hour mark for this. And really mushing out now. You want to stay close and stir it more frequently and keep mushing down. And keep it cooking. So at this point, I'm pretty much constantly stirring, and we're at the final phase here of the cooking. I'm just kind of mushing it, making sure that everything's soft and mushed and cooked down. And you can really see how much all that water cooks down. And also I did want to note that as you cook the apples, they have a natural sweetness that comes out as well. So really, I definitely recommend no sugar. That's one of the beautiful things about making applesauce. So right now, this is fine. You can go ahead and shut it off. And then we'll just let it sit and cool for a while. So we've let our applesauce cool significantly. And now we're going to strain it out so we get out all the seeds and peels and everything remaining, and we just have delicious, delicious applesauce. So what we'll be using, we have two ways we can do this. One is if you have a food mill, you can use that. But if you don't have a food mill handy, you can just use a strainer. So I'll be showing you both ways of how to do this. So go ahead and get your applesauce. And if you have a food mill, you probably already know how to use that. I'll do a little demonstration. Pour some of the sauce up in there. And then find a bowl where it can hang on the sides there. And then we just spin this around. And we spin it, and we spin it, and we spin it. And then you reverse to scrape it up again. Spin, spin, spin. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Spin, spin, spin. Scrape, scrape, scrape. So you get the idea. And you want to keep doing this for a long time. Get it all out. And of course you can take your spoon and any that got stuck up on top, move that. Squeeze it out through. And you can really get all of it out of there and just have the pulp remaining. There. Yummy. So for the strainer, take something that can also sit up on the side of the bowl. And then you can put your applesauce in there. And then basically we'll just do the same thing, just kind of squishing it down through the holes here to strain it out. So I've gone all the way through the applesauce with the food mill, and I wanted to show you this. So you can see all the applesauce is gone, but watch what we're left with. That's it. Of all those apples that we put in there, that's all we have left. That's the only waste we have. So you're really getting great use of the apples, all the good stuff. And you could always put in a little more water and cook it for a little bit longer to really soften up the peels, and you'll be left with barely anything, even less than this. Thank you for joining me to make the applesauce. Here it is, and let's give it a try. It is delicious.